What's up, Devils? J-Dog back for another video to answer some knocking devils. Knocking on my door, they're knocking hard. Got a list printed off today. Fucking even printed it off this time. Selected just goddamn questions. I think I went through two videos, so it'll be a mix of, I forget which videos it's off of, so, but whatever. You guys asked them, you remember. A lot of you guys comment on the same ones. Same commenters anyways. Bunch of fucking lamos that watch the videos don't say shit, so awesome to you guys that do and ask questions, so keep submitting them. But I got 2 pages here worth. This might have to be 2 videos worth. We'll see. We'll see how long it's going because I want to keep this under 30 minutes. So here the fuck we go with the first one from David Lane again. So I don't know how many questions asked by you, man. So yeah, I see you comment on everything. So you get put in here. What do you think about Severed Savior? I'd love to see Hells put their first two out on Gatefold vinyl. Those would be sick. Severed, I don't really have much of an opinion on them. I kind of don't remember it. I've definitely listened to them. From what I remember, when did they start in like the early 2000s? Probably like the 05, 06. And that was right around the time, and I believe it was Unique Leader that put it out, right? From what I remember it being was kind of like the brutal death metal stuff that was kind of like a little too technical for me. And maybe it wasn't, because I don't think it was as technical as like Atheist or any shit like that. I could be wrong. I kind of remember being a little bit more technical in my taste, but I think what it was, and I've told this story many times, is kind of like with the brutal death stuff, right around 2004, 5. Any of the brutal stuff, I kind of like faded off checking out new bands. I still always loved the earlier bands that I got into, like Deeds of Flesh, Devourment, Early Dying Fetus, Last Days of Humanity, Mortician, all the brutal shit, Aborted, stuff that I was already into. But the prime offenders that, like I said before, tons of bands trying to sound like Discord from California, and there's Discord from Mexico, who I love. All that stuff I love, but it got to the point where I just thought like it was getting really, really repetitive, and I'm like, I was like, so I kind of like didn't check out too many new brutal bands. So I know Severed Savior, I did around that time, and it was kind of like I was already like my interest for new bands at that time was really waning unless it was something really fucking stood out. So I'd have to kind of go back and listen to them because I don't know it that well. I definitely heard it, but I think when I fucking heard them, it was probably around. It was definitely after that 2004 cutoff, maybe around 06, 07 I heard them. I just remember it being like kind of like maybe I was a little late to the game. Where by the time when I was already like, I don't want to use the word burn out on that style because I was never burnt out. It's just it was kind of like I don't need another band that sounds like this. So we'd have to go. I could give another listen to freshen up. From Jordan, no, here we go. From Troy Morocco. Also comments all the fucking time. They look super familiar. Sick shit. Keep doing more brutal death metal videos. What do you think about Skinless? Skinless, actually, my first introduction with them was in 1999. They opened up for Mortician on the Chainsaw Dismemberment tour. And I never heard of them prior to that. I just saw them on the flyer, and I thought, oh, it's pretty cool name. That should be good stuff. Kind of like when I said the one fucking, rip around the fucking trendy poser shit, Linkin Park and crap. They got these names and like, supposed to death metal, a band like Skinless. It's like, oh, this kind of sounds like death metal. I haven't heard it, but it sounds like death metal because they had names that sound like fucking death metal. Suppose these idiots that fucking listen to Linkin Park and stuff, they come up to you and you think they're talking about the same things. Like, what? So, another name, Skinless. So, kind of like 14-year-old J-Dog. Never heard of them, but yeah, this sounds promising. And I loved him at the show. Even though there was only 15 people, what's his face? Sherwood, the singer, had tons of fucking energy. Didn't get my picture with the guys, but I have them sign my CD, Progression Towards Evil. I absolutely love that album. I would love for Hells to do a vinyl version of it. Don't know if they'll ever come to fruition. I think that Relapse owns all their shit now, and they kind of, I told the story in another video, they kind of already, I wouldn't say pull the wool under us as far as doing licensing. They just said that they want to do all licensing from themselves. To my knowledge, they never reissued that album. I think they did a CD, but never did an LP. Again, if there was true fans over there, they would, right? The second album's really good too, and to my knowledge, I think there's just a picture disc of that album. Just correct me if I'm wrong. And if there is, I believe I do own a picture disc, but I do like the second album as well. And then the third album, that was with that fucking Tutti Frutti fucking comic book looking cover. I remember that first came out. I believe, Grant, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was the first one that was on Relapse Records when Relapse first signed them. That was probably what was that, maybe around 05, 06, somewhere around there. I was excited to check it out because, like I said, the first two albums I really liked, them, especially the first album. The song Tampon Lollipops, I think that's like one of the greatest, catchiest fucking groovy fucking death metal songs ever written. It's fucking awesome. But so when the third album came out, I remember when we got it in. I think maybe even Hells did like a trade with with Relapse, or maybe we did a wholesale at the time. We were still doing wholesales with them, but whatever it is, we got them in a few copies, and I wanted to fuck it. Surely I need one of these. Automatically, I looked, oh god, this cover sucks. Doesn't have the same feel as opposed to the other two were like black and white, and they had this kind of like the same imagery and feel for them. The first two albums, so that was already stood out, and I put it on. I fucking hated it. I thought the album was weak as piss. And honestly, I've never listened to anything from Skinless ever since. It's kind of like, fuck, you cashed in your cards. This album sucked. Like, I remember not like, I was really disappointed by the album. Really bummed out, thought it completely sucked. And never listened to it since, and never listened to anything after it. Maybe some of the later albums better. But first two albums are great, especially the first one. From Gorehound, love to see some workout videos or just a 30-minute video talking about training, as the fitness side of YouTube is full of crap. Yeah, well, first off, there's definitely just videos of me talking about working out and training and stuff like that. Go back and watch some of my past videos, Rabbi, in case you haven't missed them. There's a couple. As far as training video, like in the gym recording, I I would be up for it, but I wouldn't be up for it if that makes any sense. Like, because I don't want to be that douche canoe in the fucking gym recording myself. Like, I don't know. I'm not a person. I don't really like, believe it or not, even if I'm sitting here doing a YouTube channel, I don't like attention. At least not. I just don't. Like, I don't like a lot of people like. That's kind of why I wear like big baggy shirts and stuff like that. Like, even like tank tops and stuff. I don't even wear them unless it's super fucking hot out. I just don't like. I just don't do this for attention or like attention. I just don't. It's just like, because it's usually from people you don't want the attention from anyways. It's like, it's just a bunch of people that you do get it from that they come up to you and say, oh God, I don't want to talk to this fuck. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Because I mean, it's just because you're asking for attention. Of course, like, oh, what are you recording for? Oh, you got a YouTube channel, and then the fucking idiots at the gym I don't want watching my shit will be watching my shit, and then all of a sudden you're buds, and then they're always wanting to talk to you. Good idea. Maybe I would, and if I was to ever do it, it'll probably be just shot on like, because when I train with my wife, so maybe she would shoot something on her phone real quick, maybe a set of each, like maybe the last set of each exercise, maybe not every set, and just be on a phone and then post it. But I think I'd have to fucking edit just to say she filmed up like one set, right, of one exercise, and that's took whatever 60 seconds. The next one, I'd have to learn how to fucking edit that shit together. And I don't know how to do that either. So wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility, but definitely not anytime soon. Another thing too is like, if you look up on, which I'm not shocked by at all, because most of the people that watch my ass, the only reason they do is because they're affiliated with Hell's Headbangers of the metal scene. That's how they heard of who I am. The training videos definitely get the least amount of views by a fucking milestone, which is no shock because a lot of metalheads, they only work out or care about working out. So I'd have to kind of get it to where non-metalheads or whatever are watching my channel, or more metalheads that are into working out watching it. So it's kind of worth it too. I'm not going to fucking put something up and that's totally time consuming and also gets 200 views. Because if I do a video like this when I'm sitting there talking and nobody watches, it's not a big deal. Because the only time it takes is for me to hit record and how long the fucking video is and upload it to YouTube. I think it takes me literally like 90 seconds. So it's like, that's how long it took. So it's not really a big investment. I'm just sitting here on my fucking ass just talking. So how hard is it, you know? As opposed to that, it'd be a lot of fucking effort for nothing, right? But again, I wouldn't be against it if it's gets to the point where it's worth it. From Paul Hetrick. My arms are never sore after a workout either. The only exercise that makes my triceps sore on a rare occasion is the French press. The triceps bar French press is my favorite triceps exercise. Never heard you mention the French press. What are your thoughts on it? It's funny you say, yeah, those are the behind the seated or standing, I guess, behind the head tricep extensions, right? With the bar, you say, like this, where you're like these, right? Um, I always call those just seated tricep extensions, but French press is the other name for it. Sometimes I lose touch of all the names. Like, for example, preacher curls. Some people call them Scott curls, after Larry Scott. So I guess he was like the first guy. He was the first Mr. Olympia of all time. And I don't know if he just did them a lot, or I don't think he invented them by any fucking means, but one of the first main bodybuilders to do them. So some people call them Scott curls. So they're like, just preacher curls or whatever. Anyways, I actually like that exercise quite a bit. I like it with the barbell and I like it with the dumbbell. It's actually one of my favorites to do. I'm actually kind of abnormally strong at the fucking moment. Like, I'm weird, like the basic like major lifts, like what you're talking about, like, squat, deadlift, bench press, whatever. I was never impressively strong at anything of those main things. I was really strong at weird fucking lifts. Like, it's stuff where it wouldn't make sense. For example, like my seated dumbbell shoulder press would be almost, not as much as I could fucking bench, but not that far away. You would think it's going to be at least 100 pounds less, and it'd be like off like 30 pounds, which made like for reps too, and like none of this half rep shit either. Like so I don't know. It's like weird because like it shouldn't be like that at all. And same with triceps. especially those presses like the version with the dumbbell over your head, like full range of motion, all the way come down with the dumbbells, beyond your ears. I mean, I could use the heaviest I've ever gone is the 130-pound dumbbell for 15 reps. So what I'm getting is I do like those exercises, especially with the barbell. The only problem is that I have to kind of do them at the very end of my workout. That way my triceps are really fucking fatigued. So I have to use way less weight to get it down to like an 80, 85-pound dumbbell for 15 reps. Because if I go as the first or second movement, I have to use such heavy weights. And what it does is I've, like, for example, like, was it last year, the year before, during my bulk off season, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, really trying to put on size improvements. I was doing that as my second tricep exercise. The first one was I almost always exclusively do cable push downs, like some type of cable curls. I really feel like the cables warm up the joints really good. So I almost always do those first before going to a free weight movement. When I would go and do like I said, the overhead, like a French press, a fucking dumbbell, is I'd get away with it after about 6 to 8 weeks. What happens is it would ache up my fucking elbows. So, and as the one you like, the easy, whether it's a straight bar or an easy curl bar burl, I do like those as well with the bar as well. Kind of similar problem. Our set ready bars, whatever you want to call them, with the short bars, the easy curl, or there's a short bar. The heaviest our gym goes up to is 110 pounds, and I could do the 110 pounds easily for 15 reps, 15 to 20 easily. So it's kind of like I want to do them. It's because the only other option then is to use the Olympic barbell, but I don't want to do that. But my head, it's so goddamn long. When someone walks and bumps, it's kind of dangerous because you'd have the plate loaded. Then I wish they had a short bar. They do have short easy curl bars, but actually, believe it or not, I actually like to do. What am I trying to think? Do I do that one with a straight bar or an easy? Maybe I do that one with an easy curl bar. So I guess I could load one of those up, but nonetheless, one thing I did notice with the roll when it's loaded up, once we load plates on it, is it rolls in your fucking wrist. So you gotta. I kind of never like that as opposed to the fixed ones. It's kind of set. But again, I wish they would have ones that go a little heavier, like maybe go with the 120, 130, but the heaviest they have is 110s. So anyways, and the same thing is as I go heavier and heavier, if it's first, second movement, they tend to ache up the elbows. So I think it's a great fucking movement because it's hard to fuck up. If you're you almost can't cheat, although people find a way to do it. The only way you can is see some guys, they're coming down like this. You know what I mean? As bars are like coming all the way the fuck down. Like, I think that's one of the biggest purposes of the movements is to get the full stretch at the bottom and then explode out of the stretch. So a lot of guys will fuck it up for that. So as long as you're doing it, you're doing full range of motion, it's kind of hard to like cheat. So I like it for that reason, and it's really just primarily the triceps. So great movement. It just tends to ache up the motherfucking elbows over time. That's the only downfall. So sometimes I have to pull it for that reason. From Life Eternal, also comments on every goddamn video. I have never gotten into Aborted. I've tried a bunch, but never listened to their first record. It's the best one, blah, blah. That's all. I'll scope it out. I think Impaled is 01. 01 is he telling me the year of the first album? That sounds about right, 2001, about when that came out. You ever thought about having Reaper, Chase, Eddie, or any of the other dudes on here with you? Would be fun. So as far as, Aborted, the first two albums is all I like. The first one is by far their best. I mean, if you heard anything later by Aborted, their first album sounds nothing like that. That's literally like saying, I never got into Metallica. I heard the Load album. It's like, well, it's nothing like Kill 'Em All whatsoever. Don't use that. Don't use that as your basis. Go listen to the first album. It's called Purity of Aversion. Great fucking record. I especially love the vocals because there's so many different. It's Sven that's just all the vocals. There's highs, there's gurgles, there's lows, there's like four different type of vocals, all by the same guy, and there are tons of character. Like all the other Brutal bands, I can't think of anybody that sounds like him and does shit that he was doing. Like literally nobody. So definitely check it out. As far as your second, what'd you ask about? Chase anything? As far as having, well, I mean, Reaper, I've already done the things with him, the Hellcast, so if we're to get him involved at all, I would just go to his place because he's got as you can see, I'm just looking at my laptop. He's got a way better fucking setup than I do. Sounds better, looks better. So all that. Plus, he can edit, so anything that needs to be cut out. As far as Chase, I doubt he'd want to do it. He's I don't, I can't remember how many videos Chase did for like Hellcast. I don't know if he ever did a live video, but I remember years ago when Reaper did an interview with like individuals like me. I think it was audio only at the time. It was me, Eric, and Chase individually. Like it was like your favorite releases of what was it, fucking 2010 or whatever the Hells did. I think it was right around this time we did the Centurion LPs. So maybe that was it, 2013, 14, because I want to say that those were in there for me, or maybe it was just favorite Hell's releases of all time. I don't know what it was, but it was individually. And I never even listened to Eric and Chase's interview, to be honest with you, because I mean, I'll just ask him personally. I don't need to fucking listen to something by him. I would just, if I want to know something, I'll just text him and ask him in person. But I remember Reaper saying that Chase just didn't seem like very what did he call it? Radio friendly in a sense. He's like there was a lot of ums and like kind of just really monotone. He's like opposed. He's like you out of the. It's like Eric was kind of okay. He's like you were by far the best. That's why he asked me to do Hellcast. He's like you were just kind of natural. He's like I just hit play. He's like I don't have to really edit. He's like you could just kind of talk to the cameras. Like, you're not really camera shy. He's like as opposed to like them, I kind of feel like they were. They would once the camera's on, they kind of didn't really know what to fucking say, and there's a lot of pauses. Like so, I had to edit the living shit out of it so it flows. So I get the vibe. So maybe Chase just doesn't even like to do it or have any interest in doing it. So that's my guess. And then as far as Eddie, you know, Eddie's kind of like what is it, Craig's friend thing? I've never actually like hung out with Eddie one on one, other than like at shows and stuff like that. Seen him. I don't see the need to have him like in my thing. I mean, honestly, we don't really have anything in common. I guess I'll just put it at that. Like, I think he's a really cool guy, nicest guy you ever meet. But yeah, we really don't have anything in common. Like, because he doesn't. I don't know if you guys know this or not. He doesn't like death or black metal at all. Like, he doesn't like Gorefest. He doesn't like Cannibal Corpse. He doesn't like Deicide, Morbid Angel, Bathory, Repulsion, Marduk. Name any black metal. He doesn't like any of it. I mean, he listens to like Ghost, Metallica. Um, what else does he like? He likes Midnight. I guess the only death metal band I could say he does like is Nunslaughter, but I know it's just because he's friends with Don, so I don't know, does that kind of even count? Because he met Don through they were playing baseball together or whatever. He found out he's in a band, so I don't know if he just likes him because it's a friend thing, but like, yeah, you mentioned like Mortician or Immolation or anything like that. He doesn't, I don't think he's ever heard it. So it's kind of like, not to sit there and talk trash. What are we going to talk about? It's kind of a metal channel, so mostly we talk about metal. I don't really care about Ghost, Metallica, and Iron Maiden personally, and that's like what he listens to. So we just don't have a lot to talk about. So yeah, I just don't see what we could do a video on. I just be kind of just sit there staring at each other, maybe talking about just random bullshit, the weather or whatever, or going to talking about politics or some crap that I don't want to talk about at all. So yeah, I don't think it would probably work out too well. Next goddamn question from Jay Dinkins. Comments on everything as well. I've heard that Ken, the drummer for Aborted, listens to pop music. Do you think that's what happens when playing metal becomes a job? Yes and no. I mean, there's a lot of guys. I get the vibe that guys, like I said, at Cannibal Corpse, they do it as a job. I don't know if they listen to pop music or not, but I get the vibe they still listen to death metal. You also run into this too. Is you guys got to remember, and I was guilty of this as well. You automatically assume if you're looking at a death metal band or a black metal band that those guys are into death or black metal. That's not necessarily true. They could have just been like they known somebody or there's a cousin or whatever that joined the band because they knew one of the members. So this guy, you said the drummer, he may never ever been into death metal. It's just, hey, this is my cousin's band. I'm a drummer. He asked me to do drums. You see what I'm saying? There's more of that going on. It's like I don't want to throw some funny names. I don't know if it piss anybody off. But I know for a fact, like of some bands, that a member joined and they've never listened to metal ever. And they don't claim to either. And that they joined the band because they're friends with the guy, or they just wanted to play in a band or whatever. They just saw him to play that instrument, and that was the gig that was in town, and that's what they done. So I think you guys would be more surprised that happens more often than not. And if you really wanted that, like, pay attention, especially with the brutal shit, when you see guys wearing just sports jerseys and shit like that, they don't look like the least bit of metal. It's probably what the case is. Or it's just kind of like, these guys are my friends, they like it, so I'm trying to fit in. But that's why they don't look the least bit fucking metal whatsoever, is because they're not into it. They may just be into playing music for fun because it's entertaining, which, whatever, I guess is fine. But just because they're in a metal band doesn't mean that they fucking like the shit. So I think it could be that too. Let's go make this the last one. We're at 20 minutes. Fucking from Ricky J. Also comments out the ass. What tracks do you like off King Diamond's Conspiracy album? That's my favorite one. I mean, I like all the songs on the King Diamond Conspiracy, but my favorite songs in there, probably Amen Belongs to Them, and probably the song Wise. Those are probably my two favorite songs on there. But yeah, I think it's a great album. It's definitely not my favorite King Diamond album. My favorite King Diamond album was probably first Abigail, then probably Them, then probably maybe The Eye or Spider's Lullaby. Voodoo's in there, probably somewhere in that order. That's probably my favorites. Yeah, but yeah, like for example, like Fatal Portrait, I think, which is a great album. A lot of the old heads, that's the one they like the most. The first one, that's not my favorite by any means. I like I just mentioned five others, and I definitely like more. Um, Again, I do really like it, but it's definitely not my fucking favorite. But like, because and it's the songs I really like, the standout songs like Carry On and Halloween, like they really stand out. I think they're just much stronger than like everyone thinks. Like songs like what's the opening track? Fucking The Candle and the Jonah. Like that's what they play live a lot. I don't think those are the hits at all. I think those songs they're good, but they're kind of just like I don't consider them tens by any means, as opposed to like Halloween or Charon or even the bonus track that later called The Lake. I think those songs fucking smoke, fucking the Jonah and the Candle. So, but it seems to be the fucking hits off the album, which they were definitely never my favorites. Again, I like them, but I definitely didn't think those were the hits on the album at all. So yeah, but Conspiracy, I do like just like Fatal Portion, I do like every album too. I mean, I like every song on there, but I guess you didn't ask about that one. But I guess my favorites would be Charon and actually I don't think possible. I think definitely my favorite songs on that album are Halloween and Charon. And yeah, off Conspiracy, I'd have to probably go with It Belongs to Them, probably be number one. Second song probably Lies. Yeah, probably that. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. And yeah, I got a whole other fucking page. I'm just gonna make a separate video because I don't want to. I think when they're getting 30 minutes and shit, it's getting a little too long. I know a couple of you guys in there said in the comments like make long videos, J Dog. But I mean, I've only had one or two people say that. I don't know how long because I honestly I don't know. I don't follow algorithms or see YouTube's. I don't even know if this shit documented on my peely ass fucking channel. But basically, what I'm getting is how many people watch more than just 5 minutes without changing. Are they even watching to the end? I know there's a couple of you guys, and that's fucking awesome. I appreciate it, like the Jay Dinkins and stuff like that that comment everything. I'm sure you guys are watching the whole thing, but it's like I don't want to make 30, 40-minute videos if only five people watch the end if they're only watching 5, 10 minutes. So I'd like to keep it a little lower. So 30 minutes of the max, and we're in the 20s. So keep it fucking there. So keep the goddamn comments coming, especially the fucking questions, and I'll see you motherfuckers in the next one. Later.